Today, we're going to talk about the 4 most important parts of any RC car setup. We're talking about tyres. Now, these round circles, whether it be foam or rubber, play a massive part in how our cars handle. Optimizing our tyre setup can make or break your race meeting. So, let's dive right in. When it comes to mini racing and tyre choice, firstly, we need to understand Sha Rating. Now, Sha Rating is a number that is given to a tyre which indicates how hard or soft the tyre is. You may hear numbers in the pits such as 32s or 35s, 47s, 50s. All these numbers are referring to just how hard or soft that foam is. Tyres that are softer are generally rated at 32, 35. And these softer tyres mean the tyre is able to follow the track surface and conform to the track surface a lot easier. And what this basically means is the car has more grip. So for that reason, on a Mini, we tend to use the softer tyres on the rear of the car. Basically, this will enhance our traction and the rear end stability of the car, especially on surfaces that aren't very grippy. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, harder tyres offer less grip, but they do offer more stability. So they're more suited in high grip conditions. So using harder tyres on the front reduces excessive responsiveness. The car won't be as twitchy. And by doing this, it makes the Joker a lot better. It reduces the likelihood of oversteer. So the Battcave team have done us a solid, and they suggest for a balanced handling profile, a frequently used tyre setup is using 47 Sha tyres at the front end of the car and 35 Sha tyres at the rear of the car. Now, if you are a beginner, you might consider going slightly harder at the front, so a Sha rating of something like 50. This is going to offer you a good balance all round. The harder tyres at the front are going to reduce the risk of any oversteer, while the softer tyres at the rear, well, they're going to improve grip and stability. Now let's avoid some common mistakes. One big one is using overly grippy tyres on the front of the car, like 45 Sha. This can make the car too twitchy and hard to control through the corners. Another mistake, using tyres with insufficient grip on the rear of the car, like a 37 Sha. This is going to create an unbalanced setup and it's going to make the rear of the car unstable, especially under acceleration. So we've chosen the Sha of our tyres. We like our setup. Now it's time to prepare our tyres to give us the best chance of having a good meeting. Tyre prep is just as important as choosing the correct Sha tyres. Properly applying additive or tyre source can dramatically improve the grip and handling of our car. So for the Joker and most Minis using these contact foam tyres, a popular choice of many racers is Spider Grip Blue. Now there's lots of different additives on the market, but some competitions such as the Mini Masters have a list of tyre additives that you can use. So make sure you check before you enter any competitions. Other than that, well, I suggest it's just testing and seeing which one you prefer. No matter which additive you choose, it's important that we apply it correctly. So for the rear tyres, I suggest that we apply it generously across the full surface of the tyre and we leave it to soak in for at least 20 minutes. This is going to offer us maximum grip. On the front, however, we need to use a smaller amount. Maybe just covering the inside quarter to a half of the tyre with the additive. Now, we don't want to leave that additive on there for 20 minutes. We want to let it sit for roughly 5 minutes or so. We need to avoid putting any additive on this outer edge. By doing this, we're going to keep the car balanced and responsive. Now, before you hit the track, make sure that you wipe off any excess, because if you don't, you're going to put your car down on the carpet and the wheels are just going to spin and you're going to have no grip whatsoever. Now, there's a few considerations you might want to think about when preparing your front tyres. You need to think about track condition. So on low grip tracks, you might apply a little bit more additive to the front tyres. And when it's the reverse of this and it's a high grip track, well, you might consider going from covering half of the front tyre to just a quarter, or you could reduce the time that you leave it applied for. What we're aiming for is a setup that provides adequate grip without making the car too reactive at the front end. So beginners may want to start with no additive and experiment as you go along. So we've talked about tyre selection, we've talked about tyre preparation. Now it's time to think about maintaining those tyres, possibly truing those tyres. So the idea is that we keep the tyre sizes balanced and equal. This is going to give us optimal handling. During a run, the tyres will never degrade or wear out at the same rate, which means we're going to have one tyre that is slightly bigger than the other. There's a couple of ways we can get around this. We can rotate our tyres, so we can swap the right to the left and left to the right. This should, over time, even out the wear. However, experienced racers may decide to true their tyres. Typically rear tyres, we want to be truing them around 46mm and the fronts 45mm. Basically, by doing this, we're reducing the band of foam that is around the wheel. A thinner band of foam helps reduce chunking during cornering and improves handling. Now, chunking is where little pieces of foam rip off the tyre because they grip into the carpet too much. Now, to reduce the amount of foam on a wheel, you need a tyre truer. Now, this is expensive equipment, and if you're a newcomer, you might not have access to that. However, if you speak to the people at your club or where you race, you might be able to get someone to true your tyres for a small fee. Now, a little tip for you, these wheels, they come with small plastic discs like this. Now, all these do is push onto the wheel like so, and that helps prevent the foam from chunking, and it maintains our performance a little bit from the tyre. By following these guidelines that have been set out by Battcave, you can enhance the performance of your Joker, and you can learn to adapt to various track conditions, ensuring that your car is going to be more controlled and much more fun to drive. If you are a newcomer to mini racing or the Joker, I suggest that you stick to those proven combinations that we talked about. 50s on the front, 35s on the rear as a good starting point. From there, just experiment. Try different Sha ratings to see what the car does. And the more you do that, the more you'll understand yourself, what you need from your tyres. Consider the tracks that you're going to be running on. Make sure that you adjust the tyre softness based on the grip available on the carpet. Finally, if you're unsure, just seek advice. Ask the people that are running at your track, that have run there before, or jump on the Facebook group, Battcave support group, put a question in there, and I'm sure all of the guys over there can help you out. If you like your RC car content, check out this video and I will see you over there.